Welcome to the July 7th, 2017 edition of Colorado Inside Out Postgame, a special web exclusive production here on Channel 12. Let's get a quick take on former GOP Senate candidate Darryl Glenn announcing his campaign for Congressional District 5. Meanwhile, State Senator Owen Hill reported $225,000 in campaign funds raised for the same race. And if you're trying to keep track of it, yes, there is a Republican primary in a district where there's a Republican incumbent. Doug Lamborn is already the sitting Republican in CD5, now facing two, I would call it, significant opponents in the primary. Pat Calhoun from Westward. Owen Hill was already going to be formidable competition and already raising a decent amount of money for Doug Lamborn. And now Darryl Glenn, fresh off of just a single-digit loss to Michael Bennet, is now in the race. What do you make of it?
Well, we make it a fascinating election season next year. And part of it is you see how eager people are to get in the governor's race. And I think that's moving some people who might have in a different year, a less robust year, have even thought about going for the governor, going down to these congressional races and challenging incumbents. It's going to be great. I mean, Darryl Glenn, as we know, has an interesting backstory. He's certainly weathered plenty and learned a lot in his last campaign for the Senate, so I think he'll be a formidable candidate. Owen Hill is someone who he's raising a lot of money. He would have been someone you could have seen a couple years ago, although he's young, but in previous groups, maybe making a run for Senate or governor, but he would be a really good candidate. The question is, how do these three wind up splitting the vote? If it was just one good challenger against Lamborn, I think Lamborn would be out. Three might wind up splitting it three ways, and then who knows who's going to come out on top.
Michael Fields joins us from Americans for Prosperity. So El Paso County, this is CD5, this is Colorado Springs, but these are, I'd say, three pretty heavy hitters. Darryl Glenn did well statewide, but he's really adored son down in Colorado Springs as an El Paso County commissioner. Owen Hill is no slouch, clearly already raising money. Doug Lamborn is a two-term incumbent. What do you make of it?
I'm completely fascinated by this, that all three of them are in the race. As you mentioned, Darryl Glenn, conservative, well-known, especially from last year coming off that race. Owen Hill is talented. He's young. I think he could appeal to unaffiliated voters, but also conservatives. Doug Lamborn, he just wins. And, he doesn't raise a whole lot of money, but this is going to be just a fascinating race. I really think you have three front runners at this time, and it's going to be who campaigns harder, who campaigns better, and connects with voters.
Nick Garcia, reporter with Chalkbeat, Colorado. We knew we were going to have pretty entertaining primaries both in CD2 and CD7, just because with the incumbents going into the gubernatorial race, it was going to be interesting. I'm not sure if we thought it was going to be this intriguing in CD5. What do you make of it?
Yeah, no, I think you're right. Everyone was talking about CD7 and how the Democrats are going to eat themselves alive out there. I did not see, this coming. I know Owen Hill fairly well. He's very hungry politically for this seat. I think he has an incredibly good chance. Darryl Glenn's entrance is definitely a curveball. I mean, maybe it's just going to have to come down to who can climb the Manitou Spring incline the fastest. We'll see what happens.
I think that'd be a heck of a way to decide a primary. And I'm sure there's a lot of voters in El Paso County that would agree. John Bowman from 5 Points News rounds out the panel. Another intriguing Colorado primary. Seems to be this is our lucky lot in life covering public affairs to get an interesting primary like this. What do you think?
Well, you got to wonder who the party chairman is down there to allow all of these people to go after a two-term incumbent. I don't know that usually happens necessarily.
He faced a primary last time too.
Well, and as we know, one of these candidates, Darryl Glenn, he's a pump and iron kind of walking up the mountainside guy. So his commercials will be back. We may not get to see him up here in Denver, but at the same time, I know the Colorado Springs folks will be tired of him shortly.
The Colorado Springs media market has got a very big present for 2018, indeed. That's all the time we have for Colorado Inside Out Postgame this week. Leave us a comment, tell us what you think. For everyone here at CPT12.org, I'm Dominic Dezzutti. Thanks for watching.